Good morning. Today we'll learn how to do the calibration on the precision mode in AlphaGage Plus. So, so once we switch on the instrument by pressing the F1, we can go to the setups to select the probes. So right now the probe name is 1025. I'll go to the 1025 and I find two 1025 or three 1025 setup. So one is DEF S2 DLK 1025, which is for steel in mode or class 2. One is DEF P2 DLK 1025, it's in plastic in class 2. And one is DEF S3 DLK 1025, which is in steel for class 3. The mode or the classes 2 or 3 is defined. It measures, class 2 measures from the interface echo to the first back wall, and class 3 defines by measuring the two back walls. So it's depending on what you need based on the accuracy. If you go for class 3, then it is higher accuracy, but it requires higher power, or it is better to do it in the thinner materials. So let's start with the class 2 one. You have to press OK and then again press OK and then press measure. So what I'll do, I'll calibrate in a steel block which is having a 5-step. So you can see the 5 steps here. So for calibration, I have to go to the menu and I have to go to the calibration man, and then I'll couple. Then it will ask what to do next. Like it says couple thin and then press 0. So I'll go to the thin standard and I'll press 0, and since I know that this thickness is 0.100 so inches, so if it is not coming as 0.011 inches, then I'll change it and I'll bring the things to 0.0100 inches, and then I'll press cal and I'll go to the thick standard, and thick standard it is 0.500 inches. So once I get this, I press OK. Okay, so let me redo the calibration first. So go to the thin, press 0, change it, and then press cal. Go to the thick standard, press well, do some changes, and then press OK. So once the calibration is done, you can see that you can check the rest of the thickness, like 0.4 is coming right, 0.3 is coming right, 0.2 is coming right. Okay, so my instrument is calibrated for a thickness range from 0.5 inches to 0.1 inches. So it's that simple. The thing is, the first menu is the calibration menu, and then we have the data logger. If somebody has bought a data logger, then they can have access to the data logger. They can store data in the instrument. The third menu is a display. It's about the display things, like you want to put a backlight on or off. You want to make the brightness of the screen up to what percentage, like it's 100% now. What color you want to choose. These are demonstration for the corrosion precision, and there is a grid view. You want the data logger to be shown or not, so grid view on or off. Grid view should be large font or small font. User is right-handed or left-handed, so the screen will shift right and left. The waveform, the A scan, what you are seeing, it should be an outline or it's a field. So all these things you can select in the display. And then there is initial settings where we do things like, if you want to change the resolution of your thickness reading from 0.001 to 0.01 or 0.0001, so that all things you can do in the resolution section. The units you can change from inches to mm. You can put a vibration on in case you put an alarm, then if something is out of the something catched by the alarm, then it will be vibrating, the instrument will vibrate. And there it is about the version of the software inside. There is a auto off. If you are not using the machine for 5 minutes, then it will switch off. You can change it to 2 minutes or 3 minutes. There is a beeper which can be on and off. So, and then there is a calibration type which is like manual or automatic, and then there is a clock. You can select the gauge type. So right now we are doing with the precision, so we are using a precision. Precision means it's a single cable. So in the precision, in the gauge type, you have to select the precision mode. If you are using a dual corrosion probe, then you have to select the gauge type as corrosion. The language, you can select many language. There is English, and there are options, reset, resolution. Yeah, so coming back to resolution again. So these are all in the initial settings. There are logs, and then there are measurements. So measurement is the section where you set up the alarms. Right now my instrument was having some alarm, and which is the high and low type. So if I want to switch it off, I can switch it off, or you can make it a high alarm, low alarm. So many people use as a low alarm. So in some cases, if you want to make an alarm for say 20%, you can do that in this section. And then there is setups. So setups is the things for the single crystal or single element transistors. Like this one, the single element transistor. So all the single element transistors with which you can do a precision is there in this setup. So suppose you change the probe and you put a new probe, say a different probe. Then once you put the probe, you have to go to the setup and you have to recollect the setup. So suppose I am using a different probe which is DCK1018. Then I will go to the setup and I will press OK, and it will discard my previous setup. That's okay. And then I'll go press measure, and then I am in a setup for a new probe which is DCK1018. And if I want to go back to my previous setup, then I have to go over to DCK1025, which is this probe. Oh, this is a DLK. So you have to make sure that you read the probe right, DLK1025, and then I press measure. So I am coming back to my original setting for this probe. So going back to the calibration, the most important thing in the instrument is the calibration. So once you reach there and you see that it is not as per your thing, then you do some adjustment and then press cal. You go to the thick standard, you make it like press the well and change it to the right one, and then press OK. So as simple as that. Once you have done the calibration, you will find that all the readings are perfect. Okay, and you can, with the display mode, you can change the display to a larger, like this kind of display, or you can change it to this, only the reading. And I kind of like this display because this gives a user a perspective that they have to couple the probe for some seconds before taking the reading. Okay, so this is how we do precision thickness gauging in AlphaGage. Thank you.